Okay, I am on and we are checking levels. Levels are good. That's good. Good. All right. All right, we're going to start in a couple of minutes. I'm just going to wait. I've got some people coming in. In the meantime, I can get myself organized here. I'm with my template right now. Okay, I think we're going to start with a Farkle Friday. So, my God, it's been like 6 weeks since I've done this. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Farkle Friday, and cheers. Here's to a happy post 4th of July. Please let me know as I'm doing this. I played with the volume settings today, made sure that everything was good. Just make sure that the volume is good and that I've got good audio signal of my voice versus the piano versus my template versus my MP3 player, etc., etc. Okay, Farkle Friday. Yeah, welcome to this. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, this is a semi-regular Friday afternoon thing that I do where I just talk a little bit about composing and the art and the craft and the art of creativity and the craft of creativity and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, have a couple of beverages, a couple of jokes. So I threw out to the gang, the ones who watch Farkle Friday. I said, is there anything that you are interested in? And a couple things throughout. One was ostinatos, and one was developing a theme. So I said, well, I'll tell you what, we'll do developing a theme first, and then we'll do ostinatos in a couple of weeks, which is good because I'm in the middle of doing a film right now, and I'm about to get to some action music, and there's probably going to be some ostinatos in it. So I might as well talk about that a little bit. And just for the record, this is a Jim Beam and Diet Coke for all my friends out there who appreciate fine, hard alcohol. Let me see here. Let's get switched over here. Let's get jumping right in. All right. So this is my template. I was just messing around with it. Let me first see, as I'm going to be talking, I'm going to be checking on the chat window every so often just to make sure that everything's still going. And Matthias is here. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Luke, how you doing? Got a couple people, cool. So I will be checking the chat window every couple of minutes, and please put any questions you want in there, anything that's interesting, anything you want clarification on. As always, I'm just one dude trying to fumble his way through the composing world and hopefully get some good answers. Let me ask the gang if the volume is okay for both my voice and the piano while I start to get this all set up. So let's talk about Vare and Theme-i-a-tions, or the idea of how to write a theme, and then once you've written a theme, how to develop the theme. We're also going to have a special bit at the very end. We're going to pull out some pieces for Katie's Corner, because Katie did a little picture of a warrior cat. It's actually not a warrior cat. She was very explicit about telling me that. And then a bunch of the composers did a little 30-second thing for Kate. So we're going to do this every once in a while, and a bunch of people sent it in. So I will check over in the Discord window to see where they are. Luke, I'm pretty sure that if you posted it on Discord that I'll be able to get it. So let me check that out. All right, first, this is for, let's start off just by quickly reviewing what I did last Farkle Friday. I talked a little bit about themes, and I talked a little bit about what makes a good theme and how do you construct a good theme and things like that. Or in this case, a melody. And we listened to a couple stuff. We listened to some Dark Crystal, listen to Star Trek 1 and 2. I'm going to play some of these just to get us all warmed up and in this. Talking about themes that capture a certain flavor. The Dark Crystal was a dark fantasy done in the 80s by Jim Henson's Creature Workshop. And it was really good, but it was not like your cutesy little Muppet thing. It was dark, and it was brooding, and it was very heavy. But it was very mystical and otherworldly. And so where are you, Dark Crystal? So this is the main theme of that. Just so you can hear an example of a great theme. We can talk a little bit about that. The volume is for this. So that's the melody from the Dark Crystal. One of the ones we also talked about was, you can see I just grabbed a whole bunch of different melodies in here. Star Trek 1 and 2, E.T. basically. I'll do one more. Let's do Lord of the Rings, because it's really good contemporary. Let's do the Isengard theme. If I can dig it up, I gotta remember which track it's on. It might be the Uruk-hai. So another great example of a theme that is really, really good. I was thinking of the whatever that one is. That's the I thought it was the Isengard one with the anvils, but that one's also good. Actually, that one's more of an ostinato. Really, really strong. Another great theme. Very, very. Now, when we listen to these, and I'll do one more because I really like the Minority Report one. These are kind of three very different themes, but they all have a lot of stuff in common. And I'm trying not to favor any one composer. I could just sit here and do Goldsmith and John Williams all day, but that's the Spiders theme. You can kind of see it on my piano down there. Yes, for some reason my voice is only in the left channel, and I don't know why. I've got a mic. I'm coming into a mono channel, but for some reason it's not sending out to both. Let me try this. Does this put me in stereo? Is this better? Is this a... Could be my settings. Let me check and see. Wait. I know something. Wait. I know what it could be. Give me a sec here. Let me try this. Is that better? I'm going to try. I just did a mixed mono. Is that better if I do that? Should I switch to the main one? Oh, why is it when the left one works? I swear, OBS. Yes, there's no change, or yes, it's now. Now I'm in the center. I think I fixed it. Yes! Great. Thanks, Matthias. Good. We're running. Awesome. Good, because I'm about to jump into the meat of it. All right, let's go back and listen to this John Williams thing again, because it's really, really good. Cool. You get that what it is. Three very different themes. Right? So we talked last time about what themes are for and how they're properly used. They create an identifier between the audience and the critical component of the film and piece. They use intervallic strategies. This was the big thing that I think we took away from this, where large intervals can create more dramatic shapes, whether it be a love theme, right? Right, or large intervals. Smaller intervals create more internal, more kind of quiet, emotional, you know, right? Right. That's not very like, that's not like you know, the Imperial March. Right. That is really, those large leaps create a much more bombastic military thing, and of course, orchestration is a big part of it. But we've taken all those ideas away, and I even wrote it down from notes from last time. So we then talked about the idea of actually creating an 8-bar theme, and the idea of, you know, how do you get a handle on point one? You write down the emotions and the identifiers. You listen to pop and classical and folk genres. You start by writing just 2 bars. You write 2 bars of the theme, which is a hook. And then you develop that 2-bar phrase into an 8-bar phrase using one of these 2 forms, A prime, B, C, or A, B, A, C, sentence or a period. That's all back in Vare and Theme-i-a-tions 1, okay? So we're not gonna really review that too much. I might hop onto Sibelius and quickly do one, but what I first need to do is make sure I've saved my setup, because I've got this, I goosed the gain on this. And I think I'm in a pretty good spot now to have this be. Here, I'm going to check this. Everyone's real fast. Here's my piano and my voice. Okay, so those levels are good. And then what I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to mute that, and I'm just going to play like some strings. So here's some strings. How's that for volume? Is that pretty close? I can give it a little more goose if you need it. Let me know if those strings are pretty good. I'll probably goose them just 2 bars no matter what. Give the brick wall a little boost. Am I at 10? There we go. Give it just a little boost, a little more loving. All right. So I think we're in good shape here. I think we got enough to be able to play. All right, got it. We're good. Nobody said anything negative, so I'm running with it. Ta-da, there it is. All right, let's now think. We've written a theme, and maybe my voice could be a little bit louder. Really? Okay, hold on a second here. I can fiddle with this for a sec. My mic. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna put a little bit of gain on my voice. Okay, thanks guys. I did a check right beforehand at about 2 o'clock. There we go. Just did a little bit of gain right there. Is that a little better? Give about 3 decibels of it. Okay. Oh yeah, okay. Well, I gave it you know what? It's pan law. I gave it 3 decibel boost. That should get me much closer. Hello from Kiev. I've just watched your on Goldsmith Masterclass and I just pooped out. What a night. Hey, it's good to have you here. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about, as a matter of fact, I put some composers I wanted to look at, and maybe we'll look at some Goldsmith. But let's first look at, actually, no, we are going to look at Goldsmith. We're going to look at Star Trek. Let's talk about how you develop a theme. Let's listen to some stuff, and then let's come up with some strategies, and then let's maybe have me try and construct some junky little theme and see what I can do to kind of translate it or something like that. How's that sound? Is that good for everybody? All right, I'm going to move this out of the way. Let's have some fun. Let's play with John Williams. Come on, let's have some fun with Johnny. I'm going to do a couple of fun things. I'm torn between wanting to do the Force theme. Let's do a couple. Let's have some fun. Oh, up there, how about I do A New Hope? There we go. Okay. Let's start off by saying, what's one of the main themes that we're going to be dealing with here? It's the Force theme. Okay, come on, let's all sing it along, right? That cadence is what Jeremy Soule did in Star Wars: The Knights of the Old Republic. It was fantastic. It was when they first fled to Dantooine. He did that in. You want to go there. Right? So good. All right. That's the main theme. Let's see an example where he presents it pretty straight, okay? Here it is. How's the vocal? This is when Luke is looking out into the sunset. So, and I got muted. Sorry, I accidentally muted myself. I'm not gonna do it anymore. It's too much trouble. I'm muted. I'm unmuted now. Let's listen to a version of this. This is when Luke goes back home to the homestead and finds out that his family's been burned. Same theme, varied and presented differently. And then let's go back to my favorite, like, to me, one of John Williams' just sexiest thing, which is when Luke's... Oh, there it is. Luke's barreling down the trench. He's got the targeting computer. He's the closest anyone's ever come. Well, maybe the second closest. The first guy fired, but it hit the surface. He's zeroing in. He's all about the technology. Then all of a sudden, Ben's voice comes in and goes, "Luke, use the Force." And from beyond the grave, his mentor, his instructor comes to him. And all of a sudden, you hear the Force theme. But listen to how it's presented differently. Back into the Rebel theme. Three very different presentations of this theme, although each one is readily identifiable. Okay, so here's a great example of that. And we'll go revisit Jerry Goldsmith next. We'll revisit the Star Trek theme because it's actually really, really good. But let's think about how John Williams varies a theme once he's done it. So what are the things that we're hearing? Give me a sec, I gotta boot up the, I got to boot up the Vare Theme-i-a-tions for part 2. Here we go. Let's scroll down to the bottom here. Let's see how can we apply that? Because a lot of people are like, oh, I know how to write a theme, but I don't know how to vary it. Okay, well, there's our confirmation number here. All right, Vare and Theme-i-a-tions, part 2. Okay, you have a theme. Everyone should be able to see this. Let me just check and see. Yep. What this is this is a way that you can bring a theme back throughout a larger scale work and have it continue to both relate to the beginning and expand upon its initial meaning. So I'm going to say that. The purpose of varying a theme is to relate it, is to, throughout the journey of a long-form piece. The piece that I'm thinking of are pieces called symphonic poems and film scores, which are really symphonic poems, ballets, operas, okay? Even symphonic works, but things where story is kind of integrated. In a ballet and an opera, story is integrated into the form of the piece. Film score story is integrated. Symphonic poem story is integrated. The purpose of varying a theme is throughout the journey to relate the variations back to the initial theme while simultaneously expanding their emotional and dramatic, I'm going to say context. It's a little bit nerdy. What it basically means is showing it through different lights. There's a big difference between that's one dramatic context. It's kind of intimate, a little eerie, but that's more martial. That's a different emotional and dramatic context. All right, so that's the purpose of these themes. And let me just check. Okay, good. I had a streaming issue for a second. That's the purpose of varying these themes. That's why we do it. Okay. Because you should be able to take a theme and you should be able to, this goes back to what I said at the first Vare and Theme-i-a-tions. A theme should be plastic. And what I mean by plastic, I keep on hinting at that. A theme should be plastic. What that means is, meaning it should be able to be molded through harmonies, rhythms, and orchestrations. You can see where I'm getting at with this. Into different emotions and dramatic statements. The fourth theme is plastic because you can take that theme and you can, hi. Katie's Corner is going to happen at the end of this. Oh, it's exciting. Oh, everyone already said hi.
Hi.
Luke and Matt said hi.
Hi.
And I'm gonna answer. I see a couple of chat questions. I'm gonna answer them in a second. The fourth theme can be molded through harmonies, rhythms, and orchestrations into different emotions and dramatic statements. We just heard it done as a lonely, noble statement of Luke Skywalker, to a frantic, panicked marshaling of resources to get back home, to a mystical statement where he's overcoming the world around him and taking the first step into a larger universe. I know. Well, it's good enough for Lucas. It's good enough for me. So that's how we vary a theme. Matthias said, question, is a theme used in the sense of a leitmotif? Sure. And, this is one of these classic examples where a leitmotif, a theorist can argue about it. In the technical term, in the Wagnerian sense, a leitmotif is a relatively unchanging theme that can be inserted at any point in the drama, regardless of the form of the music. So if you're in a symphony, there's actually a pretty strict form for symphony. You have like the opening movement, there's like a primary theme, a transition, a secondary theme, a finalization of that period, then a development period, then a recapitulation. There's all these formal things you're supposed to. I've written symphonic things and I've written, the sonata form is what it is. It's called the sonata form. There's this very strict, you're supposed to say the first primary statement in the tonic. You're supposed to do some transitions to a related key, and then you say the second theme in a related key, and then you merge the two together. You do whatever. It's all. Wagner's thing was, if I'm in the middle of a phrase or I'm in the middle of a periodic statement in the opera, and suddenly a dramatic element comes in, the sword comes in or whatever, the sword theme will play at that moment, regardless of what key everyone else is in, regardless of what's happening in the 8-bar phrase or the 16-bar phrase or the sequence. Just to let you know, like, it's almost like a fanfare. It's like things are going on, all of a sudden the sword is like, it's like, there's the sword, you know, like it's almost like, what is it? Right, in Zelda, like you're playing Zelda and it's like, you know, right? And all of a sudden it's like, you know, that's a leitmotif where it's like, you're in the middle of doing something, suddenly everything stops. This event just happened. Ta-da! There you go. So the technical term of a leitmotif is, and classical theorists will argue about that. But for our purposes as a composer, the way to think about a leitmotif is a musical signifier, a musical thing that instantly lets the listener know that an important dramatic event is happening. It's a musical thing that has a strong character that instantly lets the listener know that a dramatic event is happening. Think about what we just heard with the Force theme. Every time we heard it, it was a dramatic forwarding of the story. The first time you hear it, it's Luke out there looking at the twin sunset. Now, without that theme, he's basically a whiny little brat. He's like, I don't want to do my chores. But with the theme, you're like, this man is destined. He wants to be destined for greater things. His internal drive is to be more than just a farmer. The second time you hear it, 10 minutes later, bum, 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 where he's driving his land speeder, his parents his aunt and uncle got killed. He's severed his tie. He's now been cut loose from this home and he's ready to begin his journey. The third time you hear it, he has finally taken that step into fully trusting and understanding the Force. Although inexperienced, he understands the Force. So these are huge dramatic moments, and that's where the leitmotif structure will come in. However, unlike a Wagnerian leitmotif, modern film composers have been trained, many of them, the classic ones, Korngold, Steiner, Rosa, all the way up through Goldsmith, Silvestri, definitely, Williams, of course, have been trained to take their leitmotifs and mold them into whatever orchestration and whatever harmonies and whatever rhythms are needed to give that leitmotif some additional emotional context. Does that kind of make sense? So let me stop there and see. I just gave you a big, long explanation, which is why technically Hans Zimmer's minor third, that sound in Batman Begins, is funnily enough more similar to a Wagner leitmotif because it is relatively unchanging. So, you know, take that as you will. You know, he might be more Wagnerian. Well, John Williams is more Strauss. John Williams is a Strauss dude. Everyone says Holst, and he is Holst, but his thing is Strauss. All right, let me take a break here for a sec. We're going to jump into actually how you can develop a theme as soon as I pour myself another beverage. Whew, today was deadlifts and pull-ups, and it was fast deadlifts and fast pull-ups. It made Farkle very sore. So now Farkle is having some general anesthetic, which is making Farkle much less sore. All right. I got enough in here for a little more. All right. Questions? I'm seeing the chat window. Just check it. Everyone just ping. Make sure that the chat window is still open. My stream appears to be running still. I'm going to Jim beam it up. And for those of you who have not seen a Farkle Friday before, what I tend to do is I tend to have a little bit of this theory and a little bit of this explanation, and then I drill down into some strategies and tactics. Oh, dinner prep, don't need to worry about it. Oh, the Farkle Sparkle. That's right, the Farkle Sparkle beverage. Jim Beam and Diet Coke. So, how does one develop a theme? How does one vary a theme? Let's just make a list. How to vary a theme as simply as possible. And I get very guilty of this. I know a lot of random theory, and I can get really out there. I can be like, you know, I can do this, right? This kind of stuff. Like really like out polytonal stuff. That's getting too difficult. It's too much for no good reason. Let's think of the ways that John Williams changed that theme. The first thing he did was he stayed it in a different key. Yeah, it's simple, but a different key has a different context. Sure. So that's the simplest thing you can do. Is it the most exciting? No, but you can do that. But what it does do is, and this is often driven by point one. I'm going from like simplest to less simple. State it in a different instrument. It's so simple. Here, we're going to hop over to my template now, which I can't stand. I was going to do this big thing about my template, and now I hate it, and I'm redoing it for this film that I'm working on, and I'm going to... So here is our French horns. Can everyone hear me okay? So you do the fourth theme in the horn. Right? That's completely doable. The minute I take that and I put it in the flute, it's a completely different context. Let's do this one. Well, I'm going to get the close. I have one that's a little, that I mic'd up as a close mic. This little. Right? Totally different context. I also had to put it in a different key, so that can work. Hey, let's have some fun. Let's really mess with this. I know I'm beating the tar out of the fourth theme, but it's just one of my favorite themes. And like, come on, it's just so moldable. Here, let's just some of this. We've never heard this, but this actually could be really interesting. Octaves in the That's pretty cool. Octaves right there. Each one a different instrument, okay? The different instrument can place in a different register, et cetera, et cetera. But we're not even going to get that difficult yet. We're just going to like go with just that idea. Let me just check real fast, make sure everything's okay over there. Okay, great. People are sending over Katie's Corner stuff. Yeah, now you're paying attention. Well, I'm finishing up the theme thing, then we're going to do Katie's Corner. Okay, let me go back to... Hold on. I am doing my thing. I'm getting this. Okay, there we go. So that's an orchestral variation, okay? Now we're getting to the more complex stuff. Add a counterline, meaning a secondary melody that plays against the main theme. Jerry Goldsmith does that in his Ilias theme, where he writes the main Star Trek theme, and then when he plays the secondary Ilias theme, every time there is a where is my? Sorry, I'm looking for my contact player. I gotta unmute that. There we go. Every time he plays the love theme, he inserts the main Star Trek theme under it. So it's like... right there. He goes, so what happened was, when the main theme, I'm going to play it. Why mess it up when I can just actually play it? Here's a great example, all right? In this case, he did a cool thing. He took the main theme and he made it a secondary counter theme. Star Trek theme. Now you could also hear the second time that he brings the theme back, he goes, he has the string of blood going like, it's doing this little, so as the main theme is stating itself the second time, the other one's coming in going, doing just a little counter line. You can hear it, just listen closely. This is Ilya's theme from Star Trek the Motion Picture. You can hear it there. Hear that? Those little moments in there, those are counter lines. They're adding motion. They're adding motion, they're adding interest, they're creating something for the theme to kind of state against. Okay? Very, very easy. I'll do two more that are pretty easy for us. Hi.
Hello.
Maybe what I'll do is maybe I'll vary the themes that they all wrote for Katie's Corner. That'd be kind of fun. Okay. Give me a sec. Maybe we'll insert a little Katie's Corner in the middle of this. Maybe we'll just do a little bit of Katie's Corner. Give me a sec to finish these last two. You can harmonize it. That means adding stacked chord tones under the melody. It's easier than it sounds. Let's go back. Now that you guys have heard the Ilya's theme. So here's an example of Ilya's theme, right, that we just heard before. Here we go. Cool. You could do this. I'm going to have to do it with my... You see what I did there? Do you see how I took that theme and all I did was add, I'm going to mute this and I'll go back to the piano because I want you to hear it in the orchestral context, but now you can hear it in the piano context. You should be able to see, there we go, look at all that stuff. There we go. So, see, there's my single note. You can kind of see it in the piano window, right? Now what I do is I add two chord tones under it. Right? Super, super easy, but it adds such power. Okay? Do that with French horns, man. You are just sitting pretty. Or we've all heard this. I mean, that's all this John Williams thing is. Everyone says, oh, John Williams is orchestration. He has, well, he's a great orchestrator. I'm not busting on him. But like, look what this is here. Oh, my strings are active. Oops. Yay. All that is John Williams doing this. But each of those notes, he adds two notes under it. I'm sorry. What is it? Yeah. That's all that is. A simple, simple, simple developmental technique. Same with the Harry Potter one. Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, here we are. Yeah, exactly. Orchestrating the line from Alan Mayran. Yes, so let me take a break and see. Luke says, same with the Harry Potter one. Yes, exactly. It is just taking the theme and just dropping chord tones down to make it fit. And you end up playing these kind of like little block chords thing, which is very prevalent in jazz. It's also very prevalent in early 20th century French composer music, Debussy and Ravel. Those who were interested in jazz. It all comes together. Matthias says, on that context, orchestrating the line from Alan Mayran. Yes, a phenomenal course. Alan's a great composer. I really hope he continues to get more work. I have his CD to the soundtrack for Legend of Silk Boy, which is a very good score. And he has a great class called Orchestrating the Line, which is really worth, what is it, $70 or something. It's so worth it. It's like one of the best classes I've seen for, okay, I know how to write stuff on the piano. How do I actually orchestrate it out? Well, I would say EIS also is very good, but EIS is not focusing explicitly on orchestration. It's kind of an all-in-one. So it's nice to have that very targeted class. Okay, so let me see. What was the last one? I had 5 things that we can do. These are 5 simple things that you can do. Harmonize. Oh, right. Change the harmony underneath, and that's called reharmonizing. It's different than stacking chords under. Reharmonizing the melody is you play the melody, but you play different chords underneath it. Okay? This is the most powerful and, in my opinion, the most interesting stuff. Let me find a great example of this. Philadelphia Orchestra. Oh, yeah, Hans Zimmer's coming. That's right. The Hans is arriving. So let's have some fun here. Let's talk about what it means to reharmonize. Everyone, take a look. I'm going to close this out for a sec here. Go look at the keyboard on the bottom of the screen, okay? See the... Sorry, I'm going to do that to clear it. Okay. Everyone can see that, right? I'm going to play a C here. There's a high C. Okay. Let's say it's a melody note. Let's say I'm doing some melody where it's like... whatever, some stupid little melody. What is that C, what harmony is that C part of? Well, it's part of a C major. Great. Well, it's also part of an A minor. It's also part of an F major. It's also part of a D minor. It's the 7th. It's also part of a B flat major. It's also part of a G minor. It's also part of an E flat major. Sorry, it meant G minor. G minor, it's the 11th of a G minor. It's the 13th of an E flat. It's the flat 9 of a B7 chord. What does that mean? That means when you write your theme, at any point in time, you can swap one of those chords. So maybe let's say, okay, that is an F, C, C, F, cool. Let's figure this out. The F is part of an F major triad, part of a D minor, part of a B flat major, part of a G minor, part of an E flat. So now watch this. I'm going to now vary this theme by reharmonizing it. Whoa, right? That's got a different context. It's pretty cool. It's super jazzy, right? And you have to then use your taste and your decision-making ability as to what works. But that's very, very cool. Let me have some fun here. Let me think here. Yeah, that works. That can work too. There it is. It's the 11th of a C minor, right? That gets really rich and really out there. We're going to do it after this. Yeah, we're going to do it in about 2 or 3 minutes, okay? But that simple act of finding different chords to place under it will move the bass in different directions. It will move your harmonies into different dramatic colors. And the easiest one is called the deceptive cadence. And the deceptive cadence is, instead of landing on the one, a cadence, you go and look it up, it's like you go to the dominant, then you go to the tonic. So, there it is. All a deceptive cadence is you move to the sixth of the chord. So watch, C, F, G, C, cool. If I decide to go to an A minor, C, F, G, the sixth of C is an A minor. Whether it's a six or flat six doesn't matter. Right? Very easy. Let's do it in minor. You're doing the sixth of it. So, okay, that's it in A minor. What's the sixth of A minor? Is the F. Nice, right? Bach does that to an amazing effect on his toccata and fugue in D minor. He's doing this whole thing. He does this whole thing where it's like he's setting up the... And you're like, whoa, because you're thinking to yourself, it's going to be this humongous D cadence, you know. Like that's what you want to hear. But he goes to the B flat because it's really cool. All right, so I'll stop there. Those are 5 things you can do as simply as possible. All right, it sounds stupidly simple, many of these. You're like, well, obviously I can put it in a different instrument. Well, let's now put it into practice, okay? First, let's take a break and listen to some Katie Corner stuff. Let's see what we got here. So let me just kind of give you a little backstory on what this whole Katie Corners thing is, because it's kind of silly in a really good way. It's, save. Okay. I have a couple of these. I have a desert nut warrior cat and a desert cat. All right, and then wait, let me see. I think I'm downloading these really quick. Put some questions on so when we jump back from this. This is for my little nugget. Okay. Hey Matthias, can you take a moment and just throw yours back up on the? Because I have J Diggities. Oh, never mind. I have it. Never mind, Matthias. I already have it. Okay, I'm all set. So I'll show you what happened. This was just a silly, fun thing that Catherine did that I think is a great, brilliant idea. She would, there we go. Catherine would do a drawing, and here it is. And then what the composers would do is they would take some time, maybe as much as 45 minutes, to write a little theme for this character. I did not, because I've been lazy. I'll do it at some point. I have not, because I've been basically working on a film and working on some other projects. So this is what Kate did. Kate did this little desert warrior cat. No, wait, it's not a warrior cat. If you have kids, you'll know about this thing called the Warrior Cats. It's this fantasy adventure series about these cats that are.
What series?
It is. Well, come on up, Kate. If you're gonna be part of Katie's Corner, you gotta be part of Katie's Corner. It's cold up here. Okay. So let's have some fun here. Let's see what they all did. Who wants to go first? Oh, be careful, sweetie, because it's okay. Just be careful of my thing here. Okay, I have 3 clips. I'm just going to go in no particular order.
I'm trying to pick a side.
All right, let me start with Matthias. He did this one, I think, like last week. He did a sketch on this. No, we got to turn it up. Okay, so this one is Matthias. He did this. Okay, awesome. All right, here we go. I'm going to. Oh, Xavier is here. Woo! Hey, Xavier. All right, let's first listen to Matthias's. He did this one, and I'll play it. We should be able to hear it. Oh, it's so quiet. Oh, it's super pretty. This is, I posted Matthias, so you all can listen to it. Look, you have achieved applause. So pretty, so delicate.
Bravo.
So you're in G. So right there, Matthias has a beautiful mood. You totally nailed the mood. There's not too much melodic stuff in there, which is fine. It doesn't have to be. But look, just seeing that, I just played a little melody that works really, really well. Because the harp is beat. Ready? Right? Let me go into my and that right there would sound great in flutes. So let's go have some fun with that. And we're now you know it's gonna be fun because I'm gonna adapt this.
Okay, tell me when to come back. Goodbye.
So I'm playing it way too hot. I'm playing it. So there's a great example of that. 1, 2, at about 5.5 seconds. Now, ready? If I were to develop that theme and vary it, I would state it again in oboe. Ooh, I gotta add one more thing for this. I gotta add one more thing about developing a theme. 2 more things. Seven things. You should be able to build a career out of these 7 things. So there's that one right there. Let me go back to the cats. No pun intended. Good job, Matthias. There you go. Right? You got the applause from little Katie Kate. Instant dizzy. Yeah, right. Well. Okay, let's see here. Let's take a listen to Luke's here. I think yours is Karma. Yours, I think, is Desert Cat. Here we go.
Wait, I'm not ready.
Yes. Just like, I will use the Arabian scale and make this emotionally epic. That's stupendous. Yes. Oh, that's phenomenal. That was fabulous. Are you paying attention to this? The gang all did this for you, Kate. That's fabulous. Stupendous. That's so good. I'm sorry, I'm playing along with it. Oh yeah, it's so good. And then by the way, so then how do you want to develop that? Here's what you do. Right, hold on a second here. Let me have some fun with this. This is all right. So ready? I did a very big version of that way back for a trailer for an indie game with that.
The chat's funny. I'm reading the chat. It's funny.
Not in a bad way, but it's just like, all right, hold on a second here.
The chat is entertaining. I'm being entertained.
So here's what I'm gonna do. You're gonna love this. Watch this. So after if you wanted to vary that theme, what do? Put it in a different instrument. right? Check it out. So simple. Nice and delicate here, Luke, right? It's like super delicate. What flute is that, by the way? It's really thick and lush. I have a British cat. Don't worry, Steve, just heard it on before. See what I just did there? I just stated it again in strings and octaves.
Okay. Are there three or only two?
No, there's three. J Doug has one.
Okay.
Nice work. Wait. Nice work.
Princess Holiday style.
But do you see how simple that variation is? Listen, you do it once with the Berlin experience. Oh, it's the alto flute. Okay, yeah, it's really nice. It's really, really nice. What is the? No apologies for the language. Catherine, oh my gosh, Catherine's over at her Aunt Stina's, who is a Greek ballet school owner. Love her to death. She can get sailor-ish. They were listening to it on the car ride home. I was like, Catherine knows. She knows what is appropriate words and what's not. But going back to the development of that theme, you state it in the alto flute, and then literally I just grab string octaves. Right? Stupid easy. This is not hard at all. It's like, and that's a simple way, but hey, why not start simple? Let me tell you this. When you gotta write music fast, why not start with the simplest variation possible? Obviously, the drama of the film or the video game will help shape it, but if you have to develop something, just develop it in the simplest way possible. Put it in a new instrument, add octaves, and move on. Because then when you run out of those simple ideas, then you have to start being like, all right, well, now I'm going to reharmonize stuff. Now I'm going to modulate and stuff like that, which is fine. But start simple. Crank it out. Boom, boom, boom. So as a matter of fact, I just did a piece this morning, and I only had about 2 hours to write a minute and a half of music. And it's using this template. I don't like it very much because sorry, I shouldn't say it, because I love the developer and I love it. I know I can do better, but this is the template I'm working with. And so I stated the theme, and then I restated it, and I added a counterline, and I did a 4-bar intro of the pattern. It was a waltz, so I did 4 8 bars of the waltz. Then I did the theme, then I stated the exact theme again identically, but I added a counterline, and then I did a B theme. Boom, it's like 2 hours with the mock-up and the writing done, minute and a half worth of music, boom. I was like, well, I could reharm and I could modulate, but no, make it simple. It's for a mobile game. It's really, really simple. Like, yeah. Do the Goldsmith, restate the melody, and double it somewhere. Absolutely. Super simple, but it totally works. Okay, let's look at the third one here. J Diggity, Desert Nut Warrior Cat. Here we go. Ready, Kate? Here's the third one. This is J Dog. Sorry, it's so quiet. That's phenomenal, J-Dog. So one more time. It's like 80s Robot Wars music. Oh, that ending with the ba-da-da. Oh, it's so good. What?
Am I getting another drawing out?
For the next time we do a Farkle Friday, you will prepare a drawing, but not for this week. No, we're not going to do it this week. We're going to do it next week. I want you to scan it in. Oh, you did? Okay, you can show it. Okay, scan it. Okay. Yeah. Saturday morning cartoon flashback, right? Wasn't it like kind of like Captain Planet and the Defenders of Tomorrow? It's like, All right. That was a nice little break from Catherine's awesomeness. Catherine, do you say thank you to all those guys?
Thank you. And I applaud.
Good work, gents. Good work. That was fun.
Wait, do I have to pick one?
One what?
Like the win.
No, everyone's a winner.
Yay.
Katie's Corner, everyone's a winner. Really? Come on, we're not gonna.
So fun when everyone's a winner.
Oh yeah? Just wait till you're a professional artist. Then everyone's a loser except for one person. Welcome to that world. Oh, brilliant. All right, let's jump back in here and get into this. The last 2 points I want to talk about are changing and flipping the intervals and adding non-structural filler notes. This is a bit more complex. It's worth it. It tends to work. This is one of those things where it's like, it totally works compositionally. You've got to kind of try it out and fiddle with stuff because you're kind of stretching the theme a little bit and you're making it a little bit more difficult for the listener to get a handle on what's going on. But let me go back. So the fourth theme, you can flip the intervals. So, or actually, no, let's do Yoda's theme. So you can see at the opening are these intervals of the. So I'm just going to clear those out. So there's a fifth, a sixth, and a third. As a matter of fact, Williams varies his own theme that way. He puts a note in the middle. So if Yoda's theme was happening, if it was like in where is it? He's escaping Bestman, and it's like, you know. Now I'm in this like weird Eastern, Asian, Egyptian, or Egyptian, Middle Eastern thing. You could do your theme and go. There it is. Do you see what I did there? I added little filler notes in there. That works very well when you have notes with a lot of space in between them, like bum, 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 bum. You see all that space there? Add filler notes. You see what I'm saying? These little filler notes can add a little bit of variation. You know what?
Downstairs, goodbye.
Okay, hold on. I love you. Bye, sweetie. Good job on Katie's Corner. Why don't you think of the one you want to do, and the next time.
I have it. It's on my computer.
All right, I'll figure out what to do for it. I'll probably put it up on the next one. All right, let's go back to listening to John Williams. This is when John Williams is taking E.T. through, or Elliot is taking E.T. through Halloween, and he runs into a Yoda. Hopefully it's not too loud. It's just so quiet, gosh. Now listen, he runs into Yoda, and you'll hear it. He throws Yoda's theme in, but he morphs it a little bit. He gives it a little bit of his, he adds some filler notes. It's coming up here. Right? It's actually pretty pure, but he goes. He adds that little ba-ba-da, like that's a little merry kind of thing right there. Just a little extra something. You know, he does a couple of things also to vary it. But right off the bat, adding those filler notes can really help to give the theme a little bit of a different character and a little bit of a nudge, nudge, wink, wink character. Little hint about those filler notes. Most people are freaked out if they're not in the chord. It doesn't really matter. They're just kind of like flowing from one to the other. Right? You see those little notes that are there? Nobody's hearing them as like harmonic notes. They're just little, it's like in blues. This little blue note I'm doing, that's not heard as like a major minor. It's just little extra filler notes, that's all. Changing the intervals is, you know, it was really, really cute, you know. Yeah, have Yoda, have Norman Bates, yeah, because of those whole, like, you know. Like that kind of stuff that he does. Changing the intervals. Changing the intervals means if you go up a fifth, go down a fifth. That's down a fifth, right? Well, what happens if I change it and go up a fifth? Oh, well, that's the Krypton theme. Right? Changing the intervals can get somehow unsettling. Getting murdered by Yoda in the shower. Yes. And we've hit Farkle Friday in full force. I know, that's horrible. What about just flipping the interval? There's a fourth, what about down? That one stretches the thematic development the most because you're kind of changing the actual character. But if you keep the rhythm the same, okay? It can give some context for that. It's about the most tenuous that you can do. Those are probably the 7 ways that I can think of if I was to try and develop a theme that'll get me going. Notice like 3 of them are stupidly easy, right? It's like state it in a different key, put it in a different instrument, harmonize it. How do I know what to harmonize? You know what the chord is underneath. If you're playing an E flat and you're in the key of C minor, harmonize it with a C and a G. That's all you have to do. Just, you know, if you're in a non-chord tone, like if you're playing a D, harmonize it with a triad that fits inside the C minor scale. So in this case, I'm in the key of E minor, C minor, right? Sorry, C minor, and I'm on a D, harmonize it with a D, a B, and a G. Totally works, right? Thicker and richer, you may end up using less chord notes down below. You may end up just doing this. Because if you have all these chord notes down here, it gets thick, you know what I mean? And that's gonna be your own ear. You just wanna know how much you wanna add and how little you wanna add. Yeah, what is that? Whatever that thing is. It's like that, something like that. Film Score Analysis did the shower scene. If you go over to his YouTube site, Film Score Analysis, he actually has it all set up. It's awesome. All right, cool. So listen, so look, I've talked about the theory about this. Let's have some fun with that. Let's try and actually mess with that a little bit. Let's see what we can do with a theme. These are just projects I've done. These are just things that I'm doing to try and get my template working. My template's not working, it's horrible. I'm very, very unforgiving of my template because I hear stuff like Alex Temple and Blake Robinson stuff and it's so good. And I'm like, my God. But whatever, it's better than it was. Okay, so let's throw this out to you guys. Let me mute my piano. Let's finish this up today with doing a theme and varying it a couple times. What do you think? I'll throw it here. Give me some emotions and some genres that we should do. We'll just do a little improv thing. I'll come up with something. Have myself a beverage. Everybody refill your beverage while you're at it. It's going to take a minute for this. I'll try not to crib John Williams too much because I tend to really Shoot, that didn't work. All right, throw out some genres. Take a minute, we'll start messing with this. And I'll see if I can walk my walk and actually vary my theme depending upon the 7 ways that I told you guys. No one wants to do this. No one wants to chime in with a challenge. A no Farkle challenge? Challenge to the Farkle. I'm in a great mood, but I'm a little bit tired. Oh, okay, Western, okay. Okay, let's do Western. Oh shoot, there was one that I helped somebody on VI control with, and now it's in my head. Okay, I got a new one. Good. I needed to not do the one that Ben did at VI control, because I totally helped him out with it. All right, this is the if you guys saw my Farkle Friday generating an idea, I forgot to add the most important point, which is, you know, lubricate up beforehand. How about something dark sci-fi, maybe lighthearted fantasy or film noir? You know what? I'm gonna not do film noir, and here's why. Not because I love film noir. I could do it in a heartbeat. So why not do it then? Because the film I'm doing is film noir, and I'm like, I've kind of already got some themes in my head from that, and I want to do a different. I'm gonna do, when the film gets done, I'm gonna do a Farkle Friday on the film that I did. It's not my film. It's a Fire Breathing Productions film, but that's right there. That's like a film noir thing. Dark sci-fi. No, there's no problem. We can do it all. We can, whatever. We'll start with Western. We can do film noir. That stuff is. You know what, I'll play for you what I did. I can't remember exactly. Oh, why am I going to improvise it when I've got the sketch written out right here? Let's see what I did. Let us see what I did. That's why you write it down. I'm in the key of D with a harmonic minor. Oh yeah. Here's what it was. Okay. Well, you'll get a little sneak peek of one of the themes that I wrote. This is I believe, the obsession theme. Let's see. Go into a sequence or something like that. There's my film noir theme. That's what I'm doing for this particular movie. Dark steampunk sci-fi western Firefly score. Did David Newman? It might have been Greg Edmonds who did the TV show, and then David Newman did Serenity. I know that. So there's my So that's the thing right there. Well, you know what? We'll start with that because I'm actually kind of working on that. What are the first things that I can do for that? Put it in. God, I hate this sound. Put it in a different instrument. Okay. The lower part. Yeah. That was trying to work on that. I was trying to work on the intervals and bringing them down there. So there's a theme right there. How can you vary it? I'll show you. Oh, I hate that trumpet. I have to buy sample modeling. It's the Cinebrass trumpet. It's so crappy. It's like so unmusical. It's like fortissimo right from the get-go. All right, change it to a different. So just doing it in the trumpet already gives it a different color. Okay, doing it in the oboe for something maybe like where the Black Widow, who's going to show up. No, it's too low. Not the trumpet of the oboe, just the oboe. The trumpet's doubling with the oboe. I don't like that. Right there, that creates a variation of it, right? Super, super easy. Oh, there's another one I forgot to do. There's 8 things you can do. We're going to do it for the Western, because I'm going to do the Western. I'm kind of digging that idea. Don't trash Cinebrass, bro. I'm telling. Hey, man, they got my money. Cinesample's got a shitload of my money. I can say what I want about them. I had to pull, you know, because I'll tell you this. There's stuff they did really, really well. Listen to how these French horns are. Let me find them. Here's the 6 French horn patch. Make sure I got this all. That's a great sound. All right, that's some good stuff. That's all Cinebrass. And you know what? I have Cinewinds, and they're pretty good. But man, that solo trumpet blows. Just blows. Sorry, dude. Mike, Mike and Mike, that's just... I'll wait for Cinemax Studio Brass to come back. All right, so that's my noir thing. But let's do the Western thing. Because I've got this Western in my brain. I have yet to find brass that really grabs me. Oh God, you know what? You wonder why so many people who are big mock-up guys do custom strings and custom brass. Think about it. Actually, Hollywood brass is probably the best one. But I'm not spending any more money. I'm going to get it done with what I have here. All right, so let's do Western. Let's have some fun here. Let's start off by let me get this to. Sorry, I'm just getting this so that I can mute it. All right, let's do a Western theme. Let's just bang something up real quick. This will be an example of the Farkle generating an idea. Stick to 2 bars, start scratching. Okay, Western, I know it's going to be. Yeah. There it is. All right, there's something right there. That's a pretty good one. All right, so that's a good one. That's more of like a classic, like Blazing Saddles type thing. Oh, you know what? We might as well talk about this. How come he's... All right, we'll pass over this. Look, questions over on the chat window. How come you use a staccato patch that ends on a sustain? Did you modify it, or is that the vanilla patch? Some Cinebrass works like that. The articulation can be sustained, but you can change it about quite a lot. That's clever and useful. I have customized. I have pulled all the samples out, and I have customized them because I want to play them in a way that allows me to stack so that I can make them more playable. So I will do this with the French horns. If I want to do the forest theme, there's this sucking sound as the legato kicks in. Oh, by the way, I'm also not using legato. They suck. So I have to add a staccato in there to take the attack. Ah, where's my brain? Bum, bum. Yeah, I have to go and adjust the velocity. The problem is there's a space between the staccato and the sustain. So now I got to add a marcato, which kind of covers the attack, the marcato press, and the sustain. So now you get... And in that case, I don't like that rip. So that's how I do it. You can fiddle with it a bit. I will give you a crackling. No, I'm not. Oh yeah, right there I did. Sorry. Yeah, you know what? I know why. Because I've got a couple of scripts that are going, and I've got a bunch of applications running, and it's starting to like beat up my thing. I have performance legato on mine, which is exactly that staccato underneath velocity base. Exactly. And I created mine. And actually, I should really go in and change these velocity inside contact because I actually have the fortes coming in too early. They should really be... Also, they're not very well mapped. I'm sorry, they're not very well recorded. They're recorded. They're not recorded very musically. They're too big too quickly. I need like soft, like you know what I really should do is I should probably do the solo horn as the staccato because it's recorded. Yeah. That's much better. That round solo horn. Yeah. No, the stacking approach works really well. I learned this from Leon, who learned this from Thomas Bergeson. Thomas Bergeson, ladies and gentlemen. So, actually, I'm sorry, he learned that from Thomas does do this, or did do this, but Martin Spruget from Project Sam did this. That's how he... And if you have to go way back, you have to go 10 years back and find these cuts where people do it. But, you know, same thing. I've got the staccato for the attack. I've got the marcato for the initial. So. So that's pretty good. I'm very happy with the brass for the most part. I can hear now I've got to play with the French horns a little bit. This is why it took me 3 months to build this thing. The bulk of it was reprogramming all these stupid patches. So, sorry, I got us a little off topic. And we'll, I don't want to do a MIDI mock-up Farkle Friday yet because I don't like how my template sounds right now. I find the Cine strings to be really irritating me now. And especially when I see rips. Yeah, the rips work. All the rips are is it's a legato short. So, I can do. Oh, there we go. So I can do those kind of rips. It's just a legato short. It just uses the script. It uses sips to make a legato short. So it actually works. Okay, sorry. I've gotten majorly off topic. And I swear to God, if I forgot my Western theme, I'm going to be so irritated. No. I vaguely remember what it is. Close enough. It doesn't matter. We're going to vary it. We're going to have some fun with it. So that's how you stack. That's why you stack. You don't have to, but it seems to be working for me. It definitely works in the brass for me. All right. Oh yeah. Oh, I gotta get to the G minor. No, it's not gonna work. Let's see something. Yeah, that works. That's a pretty good. No one commented on that theme. It's a pretty good digression. How are you finding Hollywood strings? I love Hollywood strings. I've just started to play with them. I'm starting to try and figure them out. They sound amazing. I like them so much better than Cine strings. They are really well programmed. I love them. I'm going to use them. I just think they just totally fit. Diamond is awesome because I can grab the close mics that's thickening my sound out. I'm loving it. It's really the missing piece. I like my brass. That's going to work really well. Hollywood strings doubled with Synphobia I think is going to become my new kind of thing. I got to play with it. I've got to work on my production and get the strings mixed a little better. The winds are going to stay Cine winds. I think Berlin winds are better, but you know what? I'm not going to spend $800. I've just spent all this time customizing this stuff. And I think if I use some production, I've got this beautiful flute sound, for example. Whoops. Back and forth, back and forth. Love that sound. So I have no need to change into my woodwinds. Those are the kind of sounds that I want. They're a little quiet, and Chillbot always gets mad at me about that. I'm trying to seat them in the actual orchestra. I'm not doing a production technique where they're artificially brought to the front. Not that that's a bad thing. I'm just not doing that. All right. Oh, that's it. That'll work. That's a perfectly serviceable thing. Yeah, that was a solo flute. That was that is a solo flute right there. All right, so let's do this thematic development. There it is. All right, so there's our first theme. Western theme. Here we go. Let's have some fun with the trumpets. Let's just do it just with the Cine trumpets. Let's see how those things work. Kind of a little bit like, it's good enough. I want to actually play it correctly. good enough for this. I'm just hacking my way through it. I would ordinarily write all this stuff down because I can't. Bum, bum, bum. Let's see. Trombones. I'll need some trombones. That's probably the chords that'll be underneath that. Probably right. They're all well sampled. Well, some of them are. They're all well sampled now. Oh, I don't want this. That one. I want. Do I want that one? It's pretty close. Ah, what am I playing? There you go, that's good enough. I want to play it correctly. Ordinarily I do a click, but I'm just being lazy. We'll do this one more time. 2, 3, 4. Hey, come on. Right. And if you really want to add the energy to it, I'm not going to go hog wild with this orchestration because it's about varying the theme. It's not about orchestration, but I am going to do. There we go. That's like the supper's ready on the old. 3, 4. Ah, I'm going to cut out the strings there just for the sake of this. Ah, it's going to be. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a fiddle. It's going to be out of the way of it. Okay. just to really be the last time to do that. Boy, this is such a hack together thing. Just try to use your imagination on this. It's like this is. You trying to get. That'll work. Need more Farkle sparkles. Get the downbeat, Mike. That's right. I don't have a click, so it's like. This is why I hate Windows 10. I've got to turn off all these stupid announcements which interrupt my audio engine. Quiet, Matthias. Not getting VE Pro. No, it's not a poor CPU. It's that I have a lot of stuff running in here. Look at all the stuff I have running. I've got Contact, which is running. I've got OBS, which is running. Discord, which is running. They're all interrupts. It's not about the processor. It's about the interrupts. Look, I'm only at 40% power. It's about the interrupts, the IRQs, and that's my graphics card is a dumb graphics. It's a gaming graphics card. I really shouldn't have gotten that. I should have gotten a high-end graphics card. I never thought about combining patches on one melody line, only some low pitch strings, very cool to trim. Like, oh yeah, if it works for you, I'm trying to find the sound. It's like we're trying to basically fake our way. Yeah, I am beating up my CPU. Okay, so. All right, I'm hacking up everything. I'm just, I don't know about. All right, that's all hacked together. Let's have some variations. Let's do the first variation that comes to my mind. Change the instrument. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to add to the flute. Simple, simple thing. I'm actually going to address the last 2 points that I wrote in my thing. Put it in a different key, put it in a different instrument. 2 done. Okay? All right. All right, I'm going to do this. All right. Give me a sec. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to slow it down. Variation number 1, slowed it down, put it in a different instrument. What I'm going to do now is change the accompaniment. Of course. It's writing itself, isn't it? I mean, right? Right? Right. I'm not overthinking this. It's like the minute I play flute, what couples well with flute? The harp. It's like just go with it, you know. And then warm, quiet chords underneath. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do a cello split. See what I'm doing? Just doing very, very small. Oh, there's a new Tangle Deep. For all of you who are who supported Zircon's indie video game, which is a great video game. It's a retro role-playing thing. So, yeah, let's do that. Oh no, I'm playing a G, and it's supposed to be. There it is. There it is. I don't know if you guys can see it because I'm not in my contact instrument anymore. Sorry, guys, that I'm not. You'll have to just listen. I can only do so much with this. I've got like contact playing, and I've got this. But I'm playing an open G chord to a B minor. See how that is? How I voice it, no, that's a whole other thing. That's. Do it one more time. And I'm fudging the harp line. Again, why would I write it down? Because if I wrote it down with the harp line, I could see the register of the flute, and I could write the harp around it. I could do like the, I'll do it with the staccatos, but I could do like this. I could do like a. See, like I'd like write the arpeggios like around it, so I'd be like bum 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 bum, like whatever. Like that's a whole other thing. But again, I'm just getting the idea of variation. Okay. Come on, buddy. Oh, one more time. Sorry, I pressed a G by accident. Sorry, guys. Warts and all, Farkle Friday. Right? It's just starting to come together, right? Oh yeah, there's two Matthiases. There's I'm gonna boost this a little bit, okay? There's a variation. Moved it to a different key, put it in a different instrument. Last thing I did, changed the rhythm. It wasn't right? You see what I'm saying? Like, I changed the rhythm of it. Let's do it again. See what happens. What's a good way to do this? I mean, this is pretty stock. I did this. For Ben's thing, this idea. Let me do this. That'll work. Okay, we'll do it one more time with the strings. happening here. I hate this thing. That's that one. All right, sorry guys, I'm lost in a little bit of this. You're now kind of watching me do this. I'm going to do one more variation. Yeah. So this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend the theme. Between each phrase, I'm going to give it a space and let somebody else say something. Whoops. That's not where I want to be. Over here. Do that again with much quieter velocity. Okay, that'll be good. Surprised the crackling sound is happening, Jill. I'm sorry. My fault. I mean, all right. Next time I do this, I'm gonna bump my my buffer up to 256. I'll have to do. You know, I'm gonna have to do that. Darn it! It's always something. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna. You know, what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna build another template. This is a lesson learned. I'm gonna have to build another more reduced template for the masterclass, and I'm gonna have to bump up my template to 256 buffer instead of 128. That's fine. That'll probably fix it. Sorry, guys. Let's do this. Yeah, I'm just trying to make it worth your while, guys. So. You hear the crackling there. Well, you want to try something? This could really mess it up. Do you want to try and change the? Do you want to try and change the buffer? You can do it. Let's try this. When I try this, see what happens. All right, just set this thing to this. This might necessitate reloading the whole thing. 256 samples, see what that does. Oh. Yeah, baby. Just blew out my template. Yeah, baby. Thing is totally hung. All right, hold on a sec here. Oh, yeah, dude. It's asking for it. Can you guys still hear me? Can you still hear me okay? Yeah, you can. Let's see if this is still working, too. Oh, yeah, the sound is totally broken. Oh, come on. I was really asking a lot of it. I was like... Oh, yeah. Let's try this here. All right. Sonar is very rare for crashing. It's I do not have a video where I talk about orchestral accompaniment for the melody. Revenge of the Samples for calling them. Sonar rarely crashes. It'll crash about once every 6 months. And if I'm doing something dumb like this, like I've got multiple things running audio, like Discord, it's really not very. So I was asking for trouble. But you know what? As long as it's done, let's close this out. And let's, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna make sure I've got the correct buffer sample. Hopefully this won't mess everything up. And do I have a video where I talk about writing orchestral accompaniment for the melody? I have an orchestration one. I think it talks more about the main thing and the other thing, but maybe I'll do an orchestration too where I talk about accompaniment for the melody. Yes, Sonar had it in for me when I called the sample shitty. Bum, 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 bum. I know exactly what I'm hearing here. It's ba-dum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum bum 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 ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I apologize that I'm like the playing. I'm like it's all like chunky and messed up. Again, this template is not where I want it to be yet. It works fine, but it could be better. All right. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. Let's see how this is working here. Oh, I knew it. Ah, fine. I have to restart the whole system. Because Sonar can't handle a change like that. I have to actually reboot the whole thing up. That's fine. It is what it is. So this may be a premature ending to my class. But you know, this does give me a good thing too about this, which is it reminds me that I really should make a template that's actually friendly for the class. You know what I mean? Like in terms of is a little leaner and maybe just a little bit more like ensemble stuff, like maybe Albion and Symphobia. We'll figure it out though. That's not. Yeah, I think you're right, Matthias. I haven't had crackling in previous Farkle Fridays. So, well, let me finish up. At least let me, because you guys could kind of hear what I was doing. You guys could kind of hear what I was doing before I crashed. So I did the strings where it was like, right, in the strings. And then what I was going to do was like, right? Let me make sure the thing is still playing. So the variation that I was doing there was I was taking each chunk and giving it space to do a question and answer. Right? And that would be the brass. Bum, 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 bum. Nope. Yeah. But do you see where I was able to vary the theme? But in this case, by taking the theme and creating a little bit of space and then putting something else in. Right? Yeah, that's not a bad theme. That is mine. You can't use it. I may write a cue with that. It's not a bad theme, actually. Willing about bigger hands for those nice octave doubling in the bass. Yeah, my giant paws. That just kind of like, I get those huge paws. I'm probably gonna have arthritis when I'm 50. But you know, let's see. By the time, oh my gosh, we're already at 2 hours, which is good. And actually, God is probably trying to tell us, guys, relax and wind down. But do you see how I was able to do just grabbing a couple of these things, most notably moving it in a different key, put it in a different instrument, but changing the accompaniment rhythm. That really is something that adds a lot. And you'll notice what I do is I look at my rhythm and one of the things I do is I try to avoid downbeats. Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum, ba-da-ba-da-ba, right? Ba-da-ba-da-ba, right? Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum-bum. That's simple. Just shift to a non-downbeat. Very simple, right? Watch. Jerry Goldsmith did that. I just transcribed that last week. Hollow Man. It's like a pedal down here, but then I think like the harp and like the vibes are like. And that offbeat thing is really, really it. You seem to like Silvestri's work on Back to the Future. That's what reminds me of. Absolutely, he does. Yes, this is the cowboy chord. Yeah, that was the. Oh yeah, well Silvestri's. I know you're saying. Whatever it was. Right, and then. Yeah, totally. That's Alan Silvestri totally. Utilize those chords and that feel, which is why you transcribe. Because I that's why Westerns aren't hard for me, because I know, like, I've analyzed Copeland, I've analyzed Silvestri, and once you start listening to these, I mean, look, now we're gonna we'll wind down listening to some great stuff, but I want you to see how there's not that many things you have to do. Here, I'm highlighting this to develop your theme and vary it. Put it in a different key, state it in a different instrument. Okay, harmonize it, right? I could go. That would work absolutely well with the strings. Da 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 da. That would sound amazing. I'll quickly load up a string patch and you can hear it. I'll load up Symphobia, because Symphobia is awesome. That actually sounds great with trumpets. I'll just do here. Staccato. Right? Yeah. Da 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 da. You see what I did there? I just took that melody and I just made sure I was putting triads underneath it. Super, super simple. Not difficult at all. Now, if you want to start joking about this here, so we'll finish up with a couple of pieces just for fun, but I want you to play around with this, like try the simplest things. Put it in a different instrument. Try that harmonization. Try adding a third below it. Right, that thing there. Change the chords you're using. Put spaces in the accompaniment. Put spaces in there. Da 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 da. Ba da ba da da. Right, change the accompaniment. What I did was I changed it to that flute harpy thing. That worked really, really well. Super easy. Make it slower. Make it faster. Doing 1 to 3 of those things will give you a new variation. Let me answer these questions, then we'll listen to a couple things. Mike, could you tell, is this other approach to writing than you did on music for the Spaceship mobile game? Vertical than horizontal? I might need a clarification of that. Vertical instead of horizontal. That's the main theme for Alpha Star. Vertical rather than horizontal. You mean in terms of, am I thinking of chords or am I thinking of lines? Is that what you mean by vertical versus horizontal? The theme for Alpha Star is this one. It's a. Let me turn up the volume a little bit. It's a little quiet. Whatever there was. That's what it was. That was the main theme for Alpha Star. I mean, I worked on that in Sibelius' more smart approach, I think. Yes, whenever possible, I do not write in the DAW. I don't write it because I become too chordy. You know what I mean? And I don't become linear. Is that the Is that the answer you're looking for? Man, I'm telling you, go to paper, go to Sibelius. I'm telling you, like, you write the sketch out, and then all of a sudden you start to write lines, and you start to see ways you can take these long footballs, which are what whole notes are nicknamed, and make little lines out of them. So instead of it being like, maybe it's like this. And that's so much more interesting, right? All I did was I just kind of like started taking those notes. Oh, you know what you're gonna love? You should go look at the one that I do called Taking from Theory to Composition, where I take voice leading and I turn it into like figuration and stuff like that. That's what I just did there. I took this, I take that and I'm like, that's a very like Final Fantasy VI, like Mysterious Forest thing. So that's the other reason why I try to make, when I'm in my DAW, I try to be just a MIDI orchestrator. I'm just playing it in. I try and write as much as possible on paper so that I'm just playing it in and I'm focused only on realizing the cue in the DAW, which is frustrating because I can hear it in my head and I'm like, no, I know the strings should sound like this and they don't. And you know, Blakis has been giving me some coaching on that, and he's like, part of him is like, dude, there's a reason I can only write at the level of production that he writes. He's like, there's a reason I can write at the speed that I write. Not that he's not fast, he's very fast, but he's like, because Blakis can hear in his head how the orchestra should sound. And when he plays it with the samples, he's like, nah, I gotta go in and I gotta, you know, equalize stuff and I gotta maneuver stuff and I've gotta layer stuff and I've gotta, you know, yeah, Ron Jones has a master class that he does where he sketches it on piano, then does an orchestral sketch. And that's what I did. I did a 2-staff reduction of the Alpha Star theme. That took me like about an hour or so. Then I left it for the day. Then I came back the next day and I orchestrated it. That took me about an hour. And then the third day, now I'm trying to play it in and I'm already irritated because it doesn't work right. The music is fine. It's my tempo's all, it's not balanced yet. It's a never-ending battle. But do a piano sketch, then do an orchestral sketch. It's great. Why not? Why not separate? Do 100% of what you're focusing on. By the way, just to finish up, because this is what I love to do. Is everyone's like, oh, it's Alan Silvestri. I'm like, yeah, it's Alan. But Alan got it from like this guy. Ready? Classic Western. Classic Western. This is The Magnificent Seven by Elmer Bernstein. And it's so good. Oh, look, here's the variation. Look, different accompaniment. He puts the winds in. I'll answer the question in a second, definitely. The little woman. All right, so you get that. That one's awesome. All right, and that one, I'm going to go back even more. Big Country, Jerome Moss. You hear this one? This is a classic. What's the main theme? This is just fanfare. There's the cowboy chord. There it is, the ba-da, the flat 6 to the flat 7 to the 5. Repeats it. 1. You can hear the cowboy chord there, can't you? The cowboy chord is the Alan Silvestri sound. Then there's a secondary theme. Okay, so we're joking about Alan Silvestri with Back to the Future 3, and dude, he's totally listening to these classics. Let's see, Ron Jones, do you have, two things. Do you have any advice on starting out with a sketch approach, and who is Ron James orchestrator? Ron James does his own orchestration, and he does a 22-minute episode of The Family Guy every week, or at least he did before he retired. And he did a 40-minute of Star Trek The Next Generation every week before he retired. He's that fast and he's that good. Now he has a team. He writes the orchestration and he gives it to a MIDI mock-up guy to keep the workflow going. But the dude's fast. The dude does not have an orchestrator. He's really, really fast. Amazing. Did DuckTales, Star Trek, Family Guy, American Dad. Yeah, he's amazing. Do I have any advice on starting out with a sketch approach? Hi. We're going to wrap up. Actually, Adam, I will do a Farkle Friday on that. I'll do a Farkle Friday on sketching. How's that sound?
We're finally done.
Oh, that's great. Not because I'm trying to blow you off, because look, man, if you want me to keep on doing these, I got to find things to talk about. Is that fair? I'll do it on sketching. That'll be kind of cool, actually.
I added in the music, so now it's officially all done.
What is?
See? Even though you're on a live stream?
No, you can wait. I'll be done. I'll be done in like 5 minutes. I'm going to wrap up, guys, because it's been 2 hours. And that's a great, perfect Farkle Friday. But listen, let's just recap here. And then any final questions about this. The whole point is once you've made a theme, which is 8 bars and pretty easy and repetitive and full of intervals, blah, 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 that create emotions, how do you vary it? Move it to a different key, which is why jazz is helpful. Learning things in all 12 keys. I'm a little bit rusty, but I can maneuver. If I do a chord change or a chord progression, I can maneuver it into different keys. Often driven by wants, data in a different instrument, put it in the French horn, put it in strings. Don't forget the power of the octaves, right? Clarinets and flutes and octaves, very cool. Trumpets and French horns and octaves, very cool. Add a counterline. I didn't do that in this one because I exploded my, my sonar thing. Harmonize it. Boy, that's the one that I think everybody really will enjoy. Just start putting chord tones underneath and make little triads and little thirds and sixths. It's really cool. Change the harmony underneath. We didn't go through that. That's a little more advanced. You kind of have to, but I gave you the structure of it, which is you find that note in the moment and see what chords are under it and then maneuver into different chords. Oh, sorry. Alan Silvestri did this. Watch. I'm going to do this right here. That's the B section of the Back to the Future. Right? He does, I'm not doing this exactly the way he did it, but the concept of what I'm doing is pretty darn close to what he's doing. Right? Right here, I was messing around with it and I was playing the theme, and what I did was I started finding different, like this B flat is in the key of E flat, the chord. Well, that A and that F are in the key of D minor, right? That C, that A flat, and the F are in D flat major. And then that B flat and that E flat are in the key, and then the key in the chord of C minor 7. Okay? D flat major 7, C minor 7. So E flat, D minor 7, D flat major 7, but I've swapped the second for the third. C minor 7. How did I get to that particular set of chord choices? Well, in this case, I liked that descending chromatic line. It's cool. It's not exactly what Alan did. The harmonies are subtly different, but doesn't it sound like something from Back to the Future? That's how you change the harmony underneath. And I changed the harmony underneath to create strong bass motions or to create a particular color that I like, meaning okay, I just like that sound. I like the major, I like an A flat major 7 with a flat 5. So sue me. Changing or flipping the intervals, that one we didn't really touch on, but adding non-structural filler notes, we heard that with the Yoda theme. Changing the rhythm is a big one. Just moving stuff to the downbeats and changing the tempo and the genre. That's what I did in the mobile game. The main piece that I did, was this kind of rolling piano piece. It's supposed to be very warm and friendly. That was the theme. He wanted an elegant version of it, so I just grabbed a waltz and the strings. That's the main theme up there. Originally it was in the flute, and I put it in the oboe or an accordion. I can't remember what I put it in. Anyways, I changed the genre. Quick and simple way to vary a theme. So that's it pretty much. It's 5:42. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes. This is a good Farkle Friday, even though I blew up my computer. And Xavier, you're right. I'm gonna have to probably do I might have to do a lighter template. Gosh, I hate the crackling. Yeah. Well, I'm going to wrap up and look at the last couple of questions. Do I like Mike Post? I like to transcribe. Yeah, man, the Rockford Files. 70s television is awesome. And 60s television is so good. Those guys did so much with so little. They had a tiny little TV studio. Sounded great. But I'll tell you what, we can talk about that at the next one. The next Farkle Friday, I've got a couple of ideas. I think I owe somebody an ostinato class. And I think that'll be next. And then maybe sketching will be the one after that. How's that sound? It's a shame I blew up my computer because I was really looking forward to kind of finishing that version of the variation of the theme. Yeah, now you can all... There, now it's in your brain. All right, I'm going to say goodbye to all of you. Thank you all for staying and chatting and having fun. I hope this helped. Play with this stuff. See what it does, just mess around with it. There's, some stuff that you'll need to practice in terms of learning how to harmonize stuff. And, that's music theory. But take that theory and use it as ammunition, as tools to do this stuff. And notice 1 to 3 of these decisions, move it in a different key, add a harmonization, put a different rhythm underneath, put a different accompaniment underneath. I forgot to add that one. 10 different can totally give you the spice that you need to develop your theme and vary it throughout a long form piece. So there you go. All right. Thank you so much. And Kate, do you want to say bye and thank you to all the gang?
Goodbye.
Okay. Next time we do it, Catherine will have a Katie's Corner piece for you guys all to take a look at, and you guys can compose another bit. And thank you all so much for composing for my daughter. That was so cute of you. Very nice of you. All right, I'm going to go turn off. Everyone, go enjoy your weekend. Or if you're in Europe, you've already started to enjoy your weekend. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.